Thanks so much. My name is Rohan. I'm going to start my set with a couple of impressions. I've been working pretty hard on them. Hopefully you enjoy them. So this first impression, this is Sigmund Freud walking in on his parents having sex. Yes! Okay, so the next impression... this is the next impression, and please enjoy this one as well. This is a vampire. It's a vampire who's just lost his train of thoughts. Okay, so the last impression, hope you've enjoyed. This is a cowboy. It's a cowboy who's just given up smoking. All right, those are the impressions. Thank you so much. I hope those were good for you. I'll tell you a bit about myself now. I know I sort of look like my two main hobbies are getting mugged and misusing the word peng, but you know, I wasn't always like this. When I was younger, I traveled around a lot. I lived in lots of different places. I actually spent a lot of my life in Australia. I don't remember much about Australia, but one thing I do remember is that when I was at school, to impress the girls in my class, I used to go up to these giant poisonous spiders and just step on them, which is ironic because nowadays I'm actually terrified of women. And incredibly attracted to spiders is a problem. But I feel like those early experiences have kind of stuck with me to this day. I have lots of problems now. I ascribe to them. For example, sometimes I struggle to properly articulate my emotions, and that makes me feel... Peng? Is that what that... I just don't know. I'm also not very good at dating. Don't get me wrong, I have done the sex before. You guys should try it. It is so cool. I once actually had sex with a girl 5 times in one relationship. She hated me. But I feel like I kind of have insecurities about the whole thing. Some of those are to do with my race. So I'm Indian, and I have been all of my life. My family are Hindu, so like my dad's a Hindu, and he has been all of his lives. And I say my family are Hindu. I also consider myself a Hindu, not really in like a religious sense, not really in like a cultural sense either, not really even in like a spiritual sense. I consider myself a Hindu in like a comedic sense, in the sense that comedically I just die again and again and again. But no matter how many times I do, I just keep on coming back, all right. But I don't think I've faced that much racism. Like the only time anyone's ever called me radical, I was just skateboarding really well, but... I do have this insecurity when it comes to dating, and I think it's to do with the fact that, like, a lot of people have racial preferences, but not many people seem to have them for Indian guys. Like, I've only ever met one girl who said she had a thing for Indian guys, and I was curious what that was, so I asked her, and she said, well, I think it's because when I was younger, I used to eat a lot of Indian food, and now I'm attracted to Indians. I don't think that's how that works, right? Like, when I was younger, I used to eat a lot of baby food, but I'm not a pedophile, like... I'm also, I feel I'm quite like a socially awkward person. I say the wrong thing at the wrong time and like embarrass myself. I'll give you an example. I was with my grandma recently. We were in like a coffee shop. I was having, is it latte or latte? Doesn't matter. I was having a breakdown and my grandma could clearly see that I was struggling. So she put her hand on my hand and she went, everything's going to be okay, Bita. I love you. And then I went, I love you too. And then some part of my brain just broke and without thinking, I just went, as a friend. Yeah, it's not great. So I told that joke recently, and afterwards someone came up to me and they were like, hey man, I like your grandma joke. I also think it's great that you don't do her accent. And I was like, what do you mean? Why is that great? And they were like, well, by doing the accent, the joke becomes that you're doing an immigrant's accent, and then people are just laughing at an immigrant's accent, which like perpetuates stereotypes. So by you not doing the accent, that's actually very progressive. And I was like, progressive? No, I'm bad at accents. Is that not clear? Like, I'd do an Indian accent if I could, but my Indian accent is so bad. Like, this is how bad my Indian accent is. My Indian accent is so bad that it's offensive. 2 Jamaicans, it's really terrible. I do feel quite disconnected from my brownness, though. That's probably not a surprise. I'm aware I sort of come across as like the human equivalent of a recently gentrified neighborhood, but I think that's because I grew up in quite white areas. Like, the first brown person I met outside of my family, I was probably like 15. Don't get me wrong, I saw them in the media and stuff, so I did know they were out there. Like, I saw them in movies like Four Lions, or I read about them in things like Year 8 maths questions, so I knew... they're out there somewhere. I do feel quite like this kind of spiritual connection to my brownness, though. I can't really explain it. It's like when I was younger, my granddad, he always used to say to me, Rohan, मैं तुमसे बहुत प्यार करता हूँ, और लगान के जुगान का लड़का हूँ. And that's Hindi. And I would love to know what it means someday. I just really would, honestly. But I do get into weird situations because of my race. I'll give you an example. I was in a cab recently, and about halfway through the journey, the guy turned around and he was like, so hey man, where are you from? And I was like, you just picked me up from my house. But then I thought maybe he wants to know where my family are from, which I don't really mind. So I was like, if you want to know where my family are from, they're from India. And he went, whoa, 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 whoa. I would never say that. And I was like, you can say that if you want. And he went, no, listen to me. I don't see color. And I was like, wow, you should not be driving this cab. What the hell? Been at this green light for 5 minutes. Let's go. What are you doing? But I'll leave you with this. That got an applause. Okay, fine. No worries. But I'll leave you with this. I haven't been gigging for that long, but one gig I did really stands out to me, mainly because of something someone said to me. Basically, I went up and I did my set, and I thought it went kind of okay. And then afterwards, this girl came up to me, and she was like, hello, I saw your... She was Jamaican, I think, or something. I don't... Hard to tell. She was like, hey, I saw your sets, and I just wanted to say, you're kind of like the Elvis of comedy. And I was like, thank you so much. That's so kind. And then she went, oh, sorry, no. Not because you were good, because you died on your ass. And I was like, that is really funny. Can I use that on my set? And she was like, sure, as long as you don't make anything up. And then I went, cool. And then she went, you're sexy. And I went, shut up, I'm not interested. All right, thanks a lot. I've been Rohan. Bye.